Welcome back to the show. I am here with filmmaker of Uncle Bob and his Vietnamese children, Chun. Sue, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thanks.
Yeah, great. So you've created this documentary, and it's about a 12-minute long documentary.
Yeah.
And where did you get the idea?
Well, I've been involved with the website called jane-finch.com.
Right.
And ever since I've been involved, I've been following Paul and Mark around. They're the creators of the website. And Paul had written an article in a Vietnamese magazine about a man named Robert Sargent. And I thought that the story was a story that should be heard by more people other than like just the Vietnamese community. So I decided to make a film about him so that,
Really?
yeah.
Fascinating. How long have you been involved with the website, jane-finch.com?
About 4 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what got you involved?
Well, it started when basically my mother and I were like forced to Korea a few years ago, and by my stepdad, and he basically cut us off from like any kind of communication, like with telephone or like the internet.
Wow.
And so it was like being a prisoner in my own home type of thing. And I realized how like powerless we were as women in Korea. And we somehow like we escaped, and then we came to Canada, and we settled in the Jane Finch community, and I met Paul, and I started getting involved. Yeah.
That's an amazing story you have to tell.
Thank you.
Experiences that most people would just hear about or take for granted, that you know firsthand what it's like. Wow. Well, good for you to be here in Canada, and also contributing to your neighborhood, a neighborhood that definitely needs a positive light. Yeah, for sure. Shine on it. So now let's talk about the film now, because that's a great thing. Did you have a background in filmmaking?
I actually didn't, but right now I'm in school at Ryerson in the radio and television program, and it's helped me learn a lot about filmmaking so that I can use film as medium to share stories.
Right. So it's more like, almost like natural skills that you incorporated for this film.
I guess,
kind of. Your instincts. Yeah. Well, you know what? We actually have a clip of the film, so we'll cut to it, and then we'll get back into things. All right.
I believe that the Vietnamese families have greatly enriched my life. They have shown me the beauty of their culture, which I had not known before. And one of the things I liked about them, which is true today, is their attitude toward the elderly. You don't find nursing homes full of elderly Vietnamese or elderly Chinese or elderly Asians of any kind. They keep them at home.
Fascinating. So, how do you feel about Uncle Bob?
Well, he basically helped these people out of his own will. Like, no one told him to. He had no obligation to help them, but he had compassion for them, and he knew the struggles they had when they coming to Canada. So I feel like a lot of people can learn from his story, and I hope that they can learn and be inspired by how like one man can basically like affect so many people's lives.
Well, what did he do? What exactly did he do? I mean, we don't want to give it away too much because we want people to check out the documentary, but maybe you can give us a little bit more.
He helped them integrate into Canadian society by like sometimes he'd co-sign their apartment rent, and if they had trouble with discrimination, he'd show up and like just figure things out for them and like help them, and yeah, like, and his help has actually resonated through like subsequent generations in the Vietnamese and community, and Paul is basically an example of that.
Okay, that's great. So, and with your work with the website jane-finch.com, will this also be, would people be able to see the documentary on the website there?
Yep, for sure, and it's on YouTube right now.
YouTube as well. That's great. So it's out now, so people can actually check it out as soon as they're finished watching this interview. That's great. Anything else that's going on with you as far as your next project?
Well, I want to continue telling these stories of like multiculturalism, and I also want to in the future promote the voices of colored women, because I feel like they've been repressed, and I think they have a lot of great stories to tell, and people can learn a lot from them.
I think your own story is fascinating. I think you should maybe you know, tackle that subject matter as well.
That can be.
You have a first-hand account of what it's like to come from a country where women aren't seen as equal to here in Canada.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fascinating. So as far as being a filmmaker, is this something that you want to continue to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I think film's a great medium to, like, basically tell, like, reach a big audience, right? So, like.
Great. Well, Sue, it was a pleasure having you on the show with us. Thanks very much, and all the best with the film.
Thanks.
For more information, go to www.jane-finch.com, and here's some more information on the film Uncle Bob and His Vietnamese Children.